Hi guys, I'm Dan from DB Games. Welcome to the video. This is another Unmatched one. I've got this from good friend Noob Haven. Thanks for sending this over. To the last one I needed to complete the Unmatched set. As you can see behind me, I've got Bruce Lee and Deadpool and everything else in the Kallax above. And I'm going to have to start a new Kallax because now I have everything and there is more coming out. So I'm going to be getting it all because I need to keep the collection full. But yeah, this one's a really cool set from Marvel, Redemption Row. It's got Luke Cage, Ghost Rider, and Moon Knight, and they both all look really, really cool. So I'm really excited to get this one open and see what it looks like. If you like these videos and you want more, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. We're nearly at 200, so hopefully we'll push through that soon and get some more numbers and then hopefully be able to do more content. So please hit like and subscribe and comment if you want to see any more like this or want to ask any questions that I've not covered in the video. I'll try and do a bit of a hero overview when I open it up. So let's see what's inside. So as you can see, this is not a new copy, but everything here has been put back to normal. Hasn't been used really by Noob Haven. It's not really into that much. He got it thinking he would use it, but he hasn't. So he's very kindly sent it on to me. You got your basic rules inside, but obviously some cool Marvel artwork. That is obviously Ghost Knight being a puppet for the Egyptian spirits, and name I've completely forgotten, but I think he's a really cool character. I'm really excited for these because these are not really like the super well-known Marvel characters, but they're all really cool. You got your main rules, and of course the artwork as always is great in this. A bit more ghost stuff there and combat examples, and then you've got some rules for the different three heroes in this set. Moon Knight's got 3 different identities which have all got different powers, and each turn you switch which identity you are. So you go between Moon Knight, Khonshu, and Mr. Knight. One's good at attack, one's good at defense, and one's good at something else. Can't remember exactly what, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then Ghost Rider's got some kind of Hellfire token, so he can have up to 5 of these active at once. Can't go above 5 and he can't go below 0, but these are going to affect how he plays. And looks really interesting. And then Luke Cage is invulnerable to some types of attacks. So he takes 2 less damage from attacks by an opposing fighter, and only combat damage is reduced. So he can take damage from card effects, including effects on attack cards. If an attack damage would be below 0, then it's 0. And Luke can win combat if he takes no damage, even if he didn't play a card on defense. So he takes less damage. He's going to be quite difficult to beat. And again, there's battlefield items which you don't get in the regular Unmatched sets, but there are in the other Marvel set. So hopefully there'll be a few more of these different things. I'll tell you what they are and what they do on the cards themselves. So this one is plus or minus one, no, +1 on defense or attack. The camera is a scheme type thing. Let's have a look and see what they are when we get inside. This map's kind of cool. It's called the Raft. So hopefully you can see the full thing on the camera there. There's a helicopter over here. There's some kind of workstations. There's a computer over there. There's no high ground or anything like on some of the other sets, on one of the other sets even. There's spaces for the new items to go on. And then I'll have a look at the back. The back is just the raft again. The set, if I put it the right way around, it's just it without the colours inside the circle, so you get a bit more of the artwork in it. It's a bit easier to see everything on the board, and then same positions for the items and things. So it's a really cool looking map. I'm not 100% sure whose set this is from. Looks kind of like a generic Marvel place, but maybe it's something that you guys know. If anyone knows where it's from, please leave a comment in the section for comments saying where it's from, what it is, if it's anything specific to any of the heroes. It'd be cool to know. So here's some of the items. You get an electro baton, which gives you +2 to defense or attack. You've got a scheme on security camera. It says look at an opponent's hand and draw a card. You've got an electrified floor, which deals 1 damage to each fighter in your zone. You've got secret document scheme, which discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Folding chair, which gives you +1 or to attack or defense, and a food tray, which also gives you +1 to attack or defense. So that's what the things are. The only other tokens in this set are these, which are the fire token things for Ghost Rider. He starts the game with 5 of these, the Hellfire, and when you move, you can spend them to do increased movement and potentially with his card effects. But first off, I want to look at the miniatures. The Moon Knight mini is great. It's really got cool presence with the big massive cape coming up, and again with the nice dark ink they put on to bring out all the detail on the mini, so you can really see all the details. That's a fantastic mini. Really love that one. This Luke Cage mini looks really ready for action. He's ripped. He is about to smash people. It looks really cool. Again, great mini. I don't know this here as well as I know the other two, but this looks really, really nice. And of course, the Ghost Rider one is awesome. It's got him on a motorbike with his well-known kind of whip kind of on fire, and there's flames all at the bottom, and he's doing a wheelie as well, and like whipping, and his face is awesome. I need to zoom in with it, get a bit of detail on there. That just won't focus on it for some reason, but hopefully you can see enough to see his mini is fantastic. One of the best ones. I really want to play with him just because I want to use that mini. So let's first off look at the Knights, the Moon Knight. He's a melee fighter. He's got 3 movement. That's the same across all of them. 16 health on all of them. So his health doesn't change, which makes things a bit simpler. The light seems to be shining on the cards. I might just move my camera a bit. See if I can change that a bit. He's also got Mr. Knight, which is on you start at. I think he adds 1 to all defense values. At the end of your turn, you change to Moon Knight. Then you've got Moon Knight at the start of your turn, move up to 2 spaces. At the end of your turn, change to Khonshu. And then Khonshu adds +2 to the value of his attack cards. And he does not take damage from effects other than combat damage. So anyone does a card with a like a scheme or a jump through or something, he can't take damage from that. It's only the attack cards. At the end of the turn, you change back to Mr. Knight. So you just rotate through these every turn. And then his cards, they're actually in order, quite nice. So obviously not been used. He's got 3 of any type for defense and attack. So after combat, you may deal 2 damage to both fighters in the combat. So both fighters in the combat, that would be you and the opposition. You got 2 cards for let your insanity guide you. So they are after combat, discard the top card of your deck, draw cards equal to that card's boost value. Move it around a bit like this so you can see the cards a little bit better. Got here on my desk as well to go through a little bit. Then you've got Fists of Khonshu, where you've got 2 of those, and it says after combat, if you won the combat, move the opposing fighter up to 4 spaces. That's quite nice. You've got I'm Not Real. After combat, you may change to your next identity, so you can flip identities during your turn. You've got a couple of scheme cards which are called Travelers of the Night. Move the fighter up to 4 spaces. They may move through opposing fighters and then gain an action, so extra actions are always good. Really good. You've got, that's the part I like. If you won the combat, you may look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and discard one of them. Place the other 2 back in any order. Again, nice to rotate your cards and check through. You've got the 4 damage or 4 defense, which is good. Then after combat, you get to draw 2 cards if you do take 2 damage. So it's a bit of a risky one, but it's worth doing maybe. Madness will keep you alive. You recover 2 health, and if you start your turn in a different space, you gain an action. So if you started your turn in a different space, so if you've been moved or if you move yourself, you can gain an action. So maybe do an attack and move, play this, get 2 health, get you another action, then do something else. You've got 3 cards, we're all in this together. If you won the combat, you draw a card. Nice to get more stuff in hand. You got a 2 for attack or defense. You immediately cancel the effect of the card, common one. And then during combat, you can add the boost value of the top card of your discard pile to this card's value. Good if you know what you've already played down. You can see you've got a strong boost card. And then 3 cards for attack that say, during combat you may boost this attack. So you can boost it with a bit more than 3. So you could do some real good damage. He looks really interesting and really fun. So most probably one of the ones I'll try first out of this set. One of the ones I really want to get into. Luke Cage has got Misty Knight, who you can see here, and she does get her own health dial, I think. Underneath here she's got a health dial, and she starts with 6 and she's ranged, so she's going to be really useful. Melee for Luke himself, but Misty having ranged is great, so you might want to have him out front blocking paths off, and then her behind shooting range doing damage, trying to keep her alive, and trying to also then soak up damage with Luke, who takes 2 less damage from all attacks. When defending, Luke Cage wins combat if he takes no damage, even if he didn't play a card. So that's really cool. So he's got a good set there. And then you've got some other cards underneath, like he's got 2 defense cards, and you can move the opposing fighter up to 3 spaces. You can move them through fighters, and they deal 1 damage to each one they've moved through. That can be useful if you've got loads of followers on their team, because one damage each. You can kill them all off if you can jump through them. Luke Cage, you may boost this attack to 3 damage with a boost on. It's got 2 cards that are 6 damage. There's no actual benefits on it, but 6 damage is really strong. So they're really nice attacks. Especially if you can get them both off in like 1 turn, you're going to do some serious damage most probably. You got 0. So if you lost a combat, deal damage to the opposing fighter equal to the amount of combat damage you took. So if you take 3 damage, well, Luke Cage only takes 2 less from that, so you'll take 1 damage and do 1 damage back. If they've used a 6, you'll take 4 damage and they'll take 4 damage. Sounds like a good card to me. But you haven't got loads of health, so just be careful when you use that, obviously. You got 2 of these, Where's My Money? Place Luke adjacent to the nearest opposing fighter and gain an action. So you can move and get an action, and then you've not wasted any movement or maneuver points. Then you've got 2, Get Paid. If you won the combat, draw 2 cards. Always nice. 2 cards, Got My Back. Immediately Misty Knight may swap spaces with Luke Cage. If she does, Luke Cage is now the defender, which means he takes 2 less damage from every attack pretty much. You've got 2 Daughter of the Dragon Misty Knight cards, so if Misty Knight is adjacent to the opposing fighter, the value of this card is 6 instead. So you might want to attack with that, or if she's about to get attacked with a big damage, play this, and you're getting 6 defense or 6 attack. Sounds brilliant. Push back, move the opposing fighter up to 3 spaces. Always handy. She's got 3 cards for anyone. Trash Talk, it's 2 defenses. It says immediately cancel all effect on the opponent's card, and after combat, if you won the combat, end the turn. So that's quite nice. 2 still standing cards. If you won the combat, choose 2 cards in your discard pile, shuffle them into your deck. Nice. It's 4 attack. 2 5 attacks. After combat, you draw a card as well. So 5 attacks, quite strong. This one's a versatile card with 1 on, and then it's not a huge defense or attack, but it says draw a card. If you won the combat, you get to draw 2. Highly unlikely you're going to win the combat with a 1, but it has been known to happen, I guess. And then 5 attack here, which is this commanding punch one that we had before. So we've got 3 of those. That was just a little bit out of order. Maybe the way the box was when it arrived. And then last but not least, we've got some cool cards for Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider starts with the 5 Hellfire, as I discussed before. And it says, when you maneuver, you may spend 1 Ghost Fire. It increases movement to 4, and he may move through opposing fighters, then deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter he moved through. So if you want to go through an attack and then be on the other side, that might be a good way to do damage, especially if you can do it 5 times. Especially if you can do it to both of their fighters. It's talking like 10 damage in overall, and it might be really nice. Like my cards this way around, so I'll start with, there's only 1 of these Blaze of Glory. Oh no, there's a couple of them. These aren't in order very well. So these might be come up again, but we'll see what we've got. 2 Blaze of Glories. Spend any amount of Hellfire, deal that amount of damage to each fighter in Ghost Rider's zone. So you could spend the 5 and do that and get 5 damage straight away. Might be useful if you want to kill people off near the end. The Wicked Will Burn. You've got 2 of those, it looks like. Ghost Rider started this turn in a different space. You get 2 Hellfires. So you can spend some and get some back if you've got these cards. So you might want to spend some on that and then get some back with that. You've got Ghost Rider Feint. Cancel all effects of the opponent's cards. So you'll most probably have 3 of those. And there is another Wicked Burn card, so you've got more of those. There's at least 2 of those Feint cards, which cancels effects on the other card. They're in quite a lot of the decks. Ghost Rider Stoke the Flames. If you lost the combat, gain Hellfire equal to the combat damage you took. So that's a nice defense card, especially if someone's attacking you for 6 and you've only got 1 Hellfire thing. Hell rides with me, scheme, move Ghost Rider and up to 1 adjacent fire up to 4 spaces each. Gain Hellfire, gain 2 Hellfire and gain an action. You're getting more Hellfires. Control the demon. This card's value is +1 for each Hellfire you have. So it could be up to 5. And it's you do not have to spend the Hellfire to get the effect. So you're getting a 5 defense or thingy at the start, which is nice. Maybe a bit less further on. Stoke the Flames. This one we saw before, so there's 3 of those. You got 2 penance stairs. It says add the boost value of the opposing fighter's card to this card's value. You may spend 2 Hellfire to do this a second time. So if they've got a boost of 3 out, you can get 5 onto that, 6 to that, and then another if you spend 2 Hellfire. So that could be really damning. That could do a lot of damage. He's got a 5 attack, 3 of those, and it says after combat you may spend 1 Hellfire to draw 2 cards. Useful if you need some cards. You've got 2 chains of Hellfire, set your Hellfire to 5. So if you can get down to nothing, you can spend that to get yourself back to 5. You've got 3 Ghost Rider attacks for level 3. After combat you may spend 2 Hellfire to gain an action. Nice. Always good to have extra actions in this game. And you've got I finally escaped hell. After combat you may spend 1 Hellfire to move Ghost Rider 2 spaces. So you could attack and move or defend and move, which is really useful in like messing up what the other person can do. You've got deal with the devil. You may spend any amount of Hellfire, increase the value of this card by that amount. So that could be 2 defense up to 7 defense. And you do that during combat. So once you flipped, you can be like, oh no, I'm going to take 4 damage and spend the 4. And then I think we've seen this one before, the Hell Rides with me. You can move Ghost Rider up to 1 adjacent fighter up to 4 spaces each and gain 2 Hellfire and gain an action. I don't know actually if we have. What's it called? Hell Rides with me. Maybe not. Oh yeah, we've got 1 of them here. So we've got 2 of those, which is quite nice. They sound really powerful and really useful. You get an extra action. Always a great thing in this game, having extra actions. Normally more damage or more attack. So I can't wait to dive into this one actually. I'm really excited for all the characters. They all look really cool. Luke Cage, great for defense. Ghost Rider, great manipulation of his 5 Hellfire tokens for attack and defense and then getting back and doing more things. And then you've got Mr. Knight, Moon Knight, and his other form where you can go through Khonshu as well, I think it is, and get different things depending on who you are. It looks really cool and I'm really excited to try this set out. So who's your favourite from this set? Please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.